Hi Scorpio, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot for you, which I don't think I've used in the YouTube reading for any other signs so far. I think I've clarified with it, as far as I can tell anyway, but I just got a sudden desire that this is going to be your deck. Okay, I'm going to take 2 overall energy cards for you first, and we'll just see what we're dealing with. It's for you if you're Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We're going to look at your work life, life purpose, channeled messages, love life, bits and bobs, see what's coming in, what's going out, and what you need to be looking at. Okay, there will be an extended reading, and it's the first link in the description box. That's where we do an extended love reading for you. Okay, that's 2 very interesting cards, and I'm getting it already. Scorpio, you've got this very, very beautiful, but also very important 10 of Wands. I like this version of it because it's, you know, when you got the Rider-Waite version, you got the guy, he's carrying some wands, and obviously it's that feeling that he can't carry the wands any longer. We get the message. But this is a bit more organic. You know, this is somebody who's put everything they've got here, and they've obviously either climbed that mountain, or they're going to need to climb that mountain, or they're going to try and find a way around that mountain. But either way, this can't go on. Okay, this can't go on. You can't go far when you're laden down with this much baggage. Okay, the good thing is when you get to the 10 of Wands, there is a sense that there will be some freedom. It's like a crisis point card. And it doesn't even have to be a major crisis, but it's definitely, I'm at the top of my game here. I can't, and Scorpios, I mean, I've been chatting with you a bit in the comment section in the last few readings, which is great because you've been educating me about being a Scorpio and about the Tower and the Death card and how Scorpios are not afraid to get down and dirty with life, okay, which is great, and you're very ambitious. And you know, my brother's a Scorpio, some of my friends, some of my best friends, some are Pisces. We get on very well with Scorpio. So I like the way you roll, because you roll like a Pisces, but you've got that Mars thing going on, Pluto thing going on, this kind of, I don't know what it is, but you've got ninja and we haven't. So I admire that in you. But I've noticed this in my Scorpio friends, that this amount of emotional effort that you put into your life, into the detail, into noticing, into observing, into striving, sometimes you can be on the down low so much that you're not sharing your burden with anybody else, and you are naturally secretive. I know there's a whole thing about it in the astrology books and all that, and to a certain extent it's true. You're not sneaky, you're secretive. You naturally obtain energy and create tension into a situation by not blabbing the farm as you go along. So you're collecting, and it's all kind of stored up. Sometimes this really works for you. You can't help it anyway because it's your modus operandi. So you do this. Sometimes it's too much. You've overshot the mark, and or people have somehow noticed that they can kind of offload onto you somehow, okay? And you've collected too much. Now, we have to go with it. This beautiful, it's one of my favourite Queen of Pentacles, one of my favourite tarot cards, this one actually. I just think she's so elegant, and I love the expression. And one of my cats sits like that as well. It's this very kind of, I am here, but I am, I can't say it on YouTube, I am the SH1T. Take a whiff of me, you know? It's very elegant, but it's also poised. And I think the word that the kids use these days is demure. Okay, it's been a bit misappropriated, that word, but demure. Okay. Also, when we get the Queen of Pentacles, it means you have been waiting for something, but not waiting for it like other star signs might wait for it. Not sweaty waiting, oh my God, check my phone every 5 minutes. Or if it's to do with money, because she is the Queen of Pentacles, you know, is it coming, is it coming, is it coming? No, we're more in a Scorpio way, which is this elegant waiting and knowing that you're getting this far, knowing it's going to happen, knowing it's going to come for you. And I think when I look at these two cards combined, I think the work is done. Okay, the work side of it, the 10 of Wands, is done. And the message here, this overall energy message, whether this is to do with a romantic relationship, a job that you're trying to get, a book that you're trying to finish, or an exercise program you want to reach, whatever it is, you've done enough work, you've collected enough information, enough resource, enough already, okay, enough. There now needs to be some serenity and faith, which is kind of the secret sauce to this thing actually coming to fruition or arriving, is the part where you let go. And you know, with the 10 of Wands, they are about to let go. The person who's holding all those batons or wands, they're going to let go. They have to. You can see it. They can't carry it anymore. But instead of just, I can't carry it anymore, I'm going to let go, ugh, it's gone, dead to me now, you employ this serenity, this secret sauce, because then when you let go, it starts to happen. So that's all you actually need to do. You have done the hard work. You have made it this far. You have put such a lot of psychological, maybe physical, certainly mental effort into getting to a point. You're at the point, but you don't need to slog, okay? No more slog. Scorpios are the hardest workers. I would always employ one with a very tight contract as well, proper contract, because no Scorpio's gonna do it any other way. You know, you give. It's not you give what you get. How am I going to put this? You give with scrupulous detail. So these are my services. This is what I offer you. This is the compensation that I need. So if you want to hook a Scorpio and keep them, whether it's mental, financial, give them a decent contract and stick to it. Okay, that's what they need to grow and to be extraordinary. That's what you need. You have put your contract out with the universe about what you've done, about how much work you've put towards it, even if it's a relationship, whether it's whatever it is. And the universe likes your contract. All you got to do now is relax on it. That's the hardest bit. The hard work is not hard for you in the way that it's hard for other signs. But the bit where you let go, yes. Let me know in the comments section about that, please. Any thoughts? Okay, yes. Yes. Getting it, getting it, getting it. Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups has been described as the miser card. You know, it's always got some sort of young adult looking fairly sulky under a tree, or in the Rider-Waite, we've got the big old cosmic hand, you know, with the old kind of poofiness and the bubble around it. I love a bit of cosmic hand. Offering the cup, and the young boy's like, I don't know if I want the cup. Looks a bit like that lad off Saltburn, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't know if I want the cup. That's not really what the lad of Saltburn looks like, but anyway. This can also be moving into neutral, emotional neutral. As a Scorpio, you are fiery. That's why I'm a bit jealous, because you're just fiery as a water sign, which is weird but great, okay? but you can get very, very passionate, and it's really hard for you to get into emotional neutral. It's really hard for you to switch off. If you can't switch off, just slip into neutral, because sometimes that's enough, where you're neither on it or off it. You're just, okay, I'm going to contemplate. This is me miming zero. Okay, you're going to contemplate. I mean, I know this is going out to a lot of people who drive automatic cars. I can only, you know, in the UK, hardly anyone has an automatic car. So I'm thinking of the gearbox, where we just literally put it into neutral. We're not in gear, we're not going up the hill, we're not engaging anything, but we're ready to drive if we need to. Okay, and that's where I'm saying you need to get to emotionally, so that you're literally in serenity and neutrality. What I'm now getting channeled to me is a pomegranate. I absolutely hate pomegranates, like as a food. I know. But either way, pomegranates in terms of spiritual messages are about loads and loads of seeds. In your emotional neutrality as a Scorpio, God, such a channely reading for you. Let me just do that as well, a bit more light. In your neutrality, there's already loads of things seeded that you did before. You've done the work, you've planted the seeds. So it's like if you looked at, if you weren't an experienced gardener and you looked at a slab of soil and there were seeds in it, you might say to yourself, well, I can't see anything. I can't see anything, it's just soil. But of course, seasons happen, weather happens, rain happens, photosynthesis. I'm not good at biology, but all that stuff happens. Roots. You've seen how roots go down and you have no idea until you see something on the surface. Okay. Then we get the Wheel of Fortune, and this is what we want, because the Wheel of Fortune is like, let's spin that wheel. Let's get on the Wheel of Fortune. Let's give it a go, says the universe. And it came from the ability to just let go and be neutral. It's as important. Oh, and the star. Okay. Star wanted to show up for you there. It's as important, the let going part of your scenario, as the work that you put into it, which is really hard for us as humans, because through the school system and life, we're kind of taught you graft and you get this reward, you know, and that's the way it goes, which of course sometimes that's true and sometimes it isn't. Plenty of people don't graft and get a lot of reward. Plenty of people graft like mad and get not a lot. So for a start, that was a bit flawed by the school system. The part where you let go here is probably harder work for you, Scorpio, than the part where you grafted. The star comes in as the most gorgeous, I mean, it's just gorgeous anyway, this card, isn't it beautiful? As the most gorgeous reminder that you should be aiming very high, whether this is that you want a person, a specific person, a lover, a relationship, a career, a job in particular that you've got your eye on, that you want to achieve a certain goal, you want to be in a certain place, you want a certain amount of money, or you want to travel, whatever that is, reach higher than you think you need to. And when I say reach, I don't mean grope about for. I mean this sort of elegant, this inspiration. Okay? I'm loving this for you so far. Yes. Okay. Sun came back, whip that across. 8 of Wands, conversations, things happening. Things will then happen. I kind of feel, because we're in eclipse season, so there's a certain amount of magic. I'm going to show you the cards actually. There we go. There's a certain amount of magic, which you can kind of see here. This is gorgeous to get Wheel of Fortune, the Star and the Eight of Wands. Conversation could be about being headhunted, could be about a project that you want, could be about a relationship that you want, a person that you want. Eight of Wands is like, right, now we can talk. Sparking a conversation, but also the Eight of Wands, which I think is Mercury in Sagittarius. It's about expansion of a situation and also, what's that word? Momentum, speeding up. Things, wheels starting to spin for you, okay? Let's have a look at this in terms of your love life. Interesting, another 8. We get the 8 of Pentacles. And 8 of Pentacles is a card, again, it's a functional card. 8s are always cards of movement, of exhilaration, of things moving. When you get the 8 of Pentacles, it's a sign that in a kind of earthy way, because Pentacles are earth, and also to check your moon cycle, which I feel is going to be very important, that you are working on something that is going to bear fruit. Okay, so in terms of your relationships, of course, you might be involved with an earth sign person, some of you, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but more importantly, it's quite a slow moving brick by brick situation. So if you're in whatever love situation, there are conversations, but there are also bricks being added slowly. This is not a rush. If you find yourself in a rush, one moment, Scorpio, that's okay. If you find yourself in a rush, you're probably not in the right place. You should be like that Queen of Pentacles, okay? 5 of Swords, first card we've had with a bit of strife, okay. Venus in Aquarius, the 5 of Swords. Venus in Aquarius, in individuals that have this, is the ability to be able to distance emotionally when that is required. Some of you may be dealing with somebody who is a little distant emotionally, or who has been, maybe for the past 5 weeks or months, or even longer. There's something here about, I'm going to take another card for it. Something here about there they are. I've always thought this card was quite Scorpionic. Yeah, the Devil. Right, okay, let me have a sip of water. I appear to have something in my throat. And weirdly, in my street, someone's smoke alarm has just gone off. Because this person is smoking hot. Right. This is high chemistry, okay? High chemistry. Scorpios, you are susceptible to high chemistry because you operate on high chemistry yourself. You may be dealing with someone who is a little distant, but also the chemistry is pretty spectacular, which for some of you, that can be a formula for a little bit of obsession, okay? Now, and not just for Scorpios, but for any human, because there's a kind of a gap between what you feel and what is going on. This is now just turning into like a big sort of tarot party. It's like the Devil's turned up. This person's outside having a smoke break because they're just like clearing their head. And then in walks the Ace of Cups. Okay. For some of you, you are a surprise to somebody. They are resisting to a certain extent. And it's a bit of a flimsy resistance, but they're trying nevertheless. Once you get to the Ace of Cups, this is very pure. And also we've got Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Scorpio, you're very intriguing. this person is intrigued by you. They are difficult to work out. I'm getting that. I'm getting that they're difficult to work out. I'm going to take another card. This is why I have Scorpio friends. There's always stuff going on. Right, I'm glad to get this card. So we've got the King of Pentacles, who is the sort of nicest, most mellow, just, I call him King of the Glittery Library. I mean, look at it. It's just gorgeous. Love the dog. Dog is loyalty. Love that we have you as the Queen of Pentacles and here is the King. Okay, Scorpio, you're going to take one more card here. Yeah, all right. Mr. Boring, the Knight of Pentacles. Cool. I shouldn't call him Mr. Boring because he's really necessary, but, you know. Okay. I'm getting this. You are ultimately, of course, a wonderful match. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. We both mean it. We both bring our coin. You know, stuff the cup. We're bringing the coin. And you've got the Ace of Cups, which means there's enough love in the room. Okay, there's enough glitter. There's enough unicorns. There's enough. There's enough. But when it comes to stability and promises kept, this is your alignment. This, can that turn into that? Do you want that to turn into that? This is your challenge. It could be the same person that you want to turn into this. It could be someone you just cannot put down. It can be an ex you cannot forget about. It's a temptation. They are tempted by you. You are tempted by them. I mean, of course you are. We all would be. But this is kind of the gold standard. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. It's so solid. It's such a clean alignment between these two. And I think this is what you're searching for here. And I think this is one heck of a ride here, literally. And I'm very glad to see that. I'm glad to see the Ace of Cups because we need that. I'm thinking here about the need to essentially back off and neutral on down. I feel like there's already been some adventures in this because we've got the devil with glittery hair, you know, and you can't ignore this at the moment. And do you know, sometimes it's just not worth hassling yourself and trying, because sometimes it's just a particular time or a particular challenge or a particular flavour of the month or whatever it is, okay? This is kind of your sort of nemesis, but also Roman Empire at the same time. And life is short. None of us are getting out of this one alive. You know, it's not a dress rehearsal, etc., etc. Tea towel, tea towel. It feels as if this is a junction. If there were trains going off in all different directions, you have to go through this junction. And how you deal with this challenge, excitement, whatever it is, determines how and if you get to that, which is where I think you really want to be. God. Scorpio. In the extended love reading, I'm going to take a deep dive into the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups and the Devil. I'm going to look at the qualities of the other person that you're dealing with. Because I think we need to. We get nurture. Nurture your relationships like blooming flowers and they will flourish. Okay, the nurturing is the King and Queen of Pentacles. That's what they do. They nurture things, they nurture plants and trees and energies and money. It's all about growth. That is your, like I say, it's your Roman Empire and your nemesis all at the same time. It's nothing you can't handle because you're a Scorpio and you've probably seen, you know, more of life than most of the rest of us put together. So it's nothing you can't handle, and it's a very interesting problem to have. Yeah. And this is not short term. I'm really getting as well that the resolution of this situation is between now and Scorpio season. I've been having some real like vibes about Scorpio season recently. Yes. Okay. Scorpio. I'm off to do the extended. If you want to join me, it's the first link in the description box. Do leave me a comment. I love Scorpio comments. Many Scorpios don't want to leave comments, and I get that. But if you can, if you do, I love them. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.